Hi friends, we just wanted to come to you at the end of week 4 and just give you an update of what's happening here in Israel.
Late Friday night, we heard that Israel began its ground operation into the Gaza Strip, making their way towards the headquarters of this Hamas terrorist group. We've feeling the pain of seeing casualties from those in Gaza that are perishing alongside terrorists in Gaza. We also are seeing reports of soldiers being killed, and this affects us because we have friends and sons and daughters who are serving on the front lines, and it just saturates our entire atmosphere with a spirit of fear. War is a brutal reality, and we know in the Messianic kingdom, Jesus says there will be no more war anymore. He'll wipe away every tear, and we're praying that his comfort will be over everyone in the land right now. On top of that, now we have the war opening up on multiple fronts, not just with Hamas in the south, but with Lebanon and Hezbollah in the north, also with the Yemeni, Iranian-backed terrorist group, the Houthis in the south. Already missiles have been intercepted over Eilat, and also with Syria. So now Israel's facing a battle on 4 fronts.
And in the midst of all of this growing all around us, we also want to celebrate that Ori was rescued this week from Gaza. She was a hostage that was in Gaza, and she's serving in the IDF, and so she was the first hostage that has been rescued. And so we rejoice and are so grateful for her returning home, and we're still praying for the 240 of those who are still held hostage in Gaza. We have different displays going on all around the world, but actually also here in Israel. One here in particular in Jerusalem, as you have seen, that there are beds, empty beds of the hostages, over 230 empty beds, to just show and think about, even think about your children, your grandparents, your mother and your father not being in their own bed for now almost a month because they're held hostage. So we're praying for each one to come home, each one by name.
Also, thanks to those who give to our Emergency Crisis Response Fund. We're hosting families all over the country. We just opened up a new Kibbutz, a new village in the north of Israel on the Sea of Galilee, hosting now 160 people, 80 children, and the activities, the game room, just seeing this community really surround them. It's more than a hotel, it's a community that just opened up their arms and created a laundromat and loving on these families. And we couldn't do this without you. I want you to hear some of the stories of how the community is surrounding and loving on those who've been displaced.
We're a small community. We're about 350, currently less because many of the guys have been called up. Knowing that families are coming here, you know, we're speaking 300 locals, where it's about 150 displaced. I started sharing it with my network here in the kibbutz, and literally within a day we had 20 or so people standing up and saying, you know, I'm good at sports, I could give a football class, I could, you know, do arts programs or whatever. So that's amazing. They're so welcoming, and really it helps us distract a little bit from everything else that is going on. I overheard a conversation of a local here with one of your team members that said, you know, guys, you guys brought so much light to this village. She was explaining that she had been moved from the northern border with Lebanon. They lived real close to the border. After the 7th of October already, they started realizing they couldn't live there anymore, and she had been moved around many places. 2 little children. When she realized that there's actually an option to be in a place that has, you know, space for kids and space for a life outdoors, she was so relieved to know that she could come here. So I really hope that she and many others can find peace here. We by ourselves, we feel like this is a very peaceful environment that just is, with the craziness going on, this is such an oasis of peace. I hope all the families can benefit from that. And I know this specific family that I talked to, they benefited already greatly from it.
So we wanted to share all of this with you just to say thank you once again as we close week 4, and we're sending you lots of love from Jerusalem.